All right, next up, we got Amari Cooper's quarterback, Derek Carr, or Ryan Tannehill, who, last two games has played a lot better than the first few weeks of the season. So who would you rather have, Derek Carr or Ryan Tannehill?
All right, Bucky, you're first up here. You've gone against Raider Nation once, and I know how Raider Nation can get after you. So now I'm going to give you another opportunity.
They do get after me, so now I can't go right here. I'm going to go way over here, right there. Raider Nation, I'm going to go with Derek Carr in this. And the reason I'm going to go with Derek Carr is because he kind of exhibits some of the traits that I like from a franchise quarterback. I believe in a guy that is like super confident, super competitive. To me, he's a gunslinger. He's a guy that doesn't blink at the moment of truth. I think he understands the moment. He doesn't wilt under the pressure. And I'll be the first to say that when he was coming out of Fresno State, I had some of my doubts. I wondered if he would be able to step up when he had to play in an NFL game. And he's really proven those doubts to kind of be irrational because he delivers the ball on time. He finds a way to get the ball to his weapons. And they've upgraded the supporting cast around him. So now we're being able to see him kind of play with the kind of talent that allows him to really showcase his skills. And those skills that I like, the gunslinger mentality, the athleticism, mobility, and the decisiveness. He's just a confident guy. He delivers the ball on time. He's feeding the ball to Amari Cooper. And so I like Derek Carr in this debate.
All right, Buck, I'm going to give you a chance. You've made your oral argument. I'm going to give you a chance here to, what is that, your display?
You want me to show my show my exhibits?
Your exhibits.
Show my exhibits.
I couldn't get that
law and order here. So when we roll the tape, what you'll see from Derek Carr is I talked about the gunslinger mentality. That means he's going to take some chances. This is not an ideal situation for him really to attack the middle of the field. But he has his guy down at the bottom of the field. He likes the one-on-one matchup with Amari Cooper versus Verrett. He's going to take the snap. He's going to see the safety roll down. Even though the middle of the field is closed and he probably got downgraded because he shouldn't throw a post into the middle, he trusts his guy. Amari Cooper goes up and makes the play. And this comes from the chemistry that these guys have developed on the field. Sometimes you say, look, I know I'm wrong, but Amari Cooper's going to make me right. Amari Cooper has made Derek Carr right, but it's the gunslinger mentality that allows him to take those chances.
Yeah, see, this is tough for me because I've criticized Derek Carr in the past last year because he wouldn't take chances down the field.
He was checking down Charlie last year, but
yes.
he's wrong.
So he's taking more shots down the field, which I like. Taking shots down the field. I don't like taking shots into a middle safety that we just saw there. I mean, that's like Bon Jovi living on a prayer style stuff there. But hey, it worked out in that case. I like Derek Carr. I think he's got a quick release. I think he's very talented. But to me, I'm going to go with Ryan Tannehill in this one. And you look at the numbers right here, the completion percentage is starting to climb up for Tannehill, especially off what he's done the last couple weeks. And you look at him, what he did last year, he was over 66%. So those numbers are going to balance back out. He's going to get that completion percentage back up there. But I like Tannehill a little bit better, Buck, because the anticipation that he throws with, the ability to process, to be able to work a full field quickly, work through his progressions. And look, the one question I have about Tannehill is that deep ball accuracy. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's something he can continue to work on. But the touch and ball placement underneath intermediate, I think, is outstanding. And we saw it on display big time against the Houston Texans. He was throwing it all over the lot, Buck.
He is throwing it all over the lot. And I think the one thing that has helped him, he's playing in a system that is really similar to the one that he played at Texas A&M. A lot of quick rhythm throws. The ball is designed the plays are designed to get the ball out of his hands quickly. He's trusted his playmakers to make plays. The other thing that the Dolphins have done the last couple of weeks, they're running the football. Mm-hmm. So much of what their offense was early in the year was Ryan Tannehill taking too many attempts. Like the pitch count was too high for where he is in his development. Bring it down a little bit, run the ball, he's having success. In saying all of that, watching him come out, because he only had 19 starts coming out of Texas A&M, I thought he would have a steep learning curve. I think we still see some of that. I just think Derek Carr is a little more advanced despite being a younger player than Ryan Tannehill because he's logged more reps at the position from college into pros.
Well, Tannehill's numbers keep getting better each and every year, over 4,000 passing yards last year. I think he's going to end up with a 30-touchdown season, over 4,000 yards again this year. And when I look at what I like about him, if I want to narrow it down to the three traits, Buck, I'm going to go accuracy, athleticism, and quickness. And you want to see the accuracy right here. Look at this ball placement. To me, look, completion percentage doesn't tell the whole story of accuracy. That's putting the ball dead on a run and letting your guy Jarvis Landry make a play. Still had enough room because he got it out early to not go out of bounds, to be able to cut it back and get you a long touchdown right here. But the athleticism, to me, is something that doesn't get enough attention with Ryan Tannehill. Yeah. Everybody always talks about the fact he was a former wide receiver. But his ability to run for first downs, which he's done at a very good clip, his ability to extend plays, he's been more of a factor as a runner in the game than Derek Carr has. When you look at the numbers, getting first downs, running the football, he adds that other dimension that I don't think Derek Carr really adds. Derek Carr is a good athlete, but he doesn't use it to run.
No, he doesn't use it to run. He's a guy that kind of plays the game. To me, it reminds me of Tony Romo. When Tony Romo was young and running around and creating and extending plays and pushing the ball down the field on kind of broken plays. That's kind of how Derek Carr reminds me. Ryan Tannehill is a guy that I think can execute all the facets of the read option. And we've seen him do that. We've seen them put him in a situation where he pulls the ball off the belly, he races around the corner and makes plays. He was arguably their best wide receiver at Texas A&M at one time. So that speaks to the level of athleticism that he brings to the table. Would like to see it used more so he really can test the defense in all areas.
One question I want to ask you with as we wrap this up here. You went with Carr, I went with Tannehill. I did a quarterback study. I've talked about it on here previously several years ago, and I went through and tried to find, okay, what's the one common thing that all these great quarterbacks have? Going back to the Hall of Fame guys, everybody, what's the one trait that they all possess? And the one thing I came up with, not size, not arm strength, all this stuff, poise. If you're going to say between these two quarterbacks, Buck, to me, I think Tannehill, the poise is much, much more impressive than what I've seen with Carr, but I'll leave it up to you to make your call on that.
No, I will say that. I will say the poise that Ryan Tannehill has exhibited during the early part of his career certainly has been a little better than Derek Carr. But, that was my main point of contention with Derek Carr leading up to the draft. When I saw him at Fresno State and people blitzed him and harassed him in the pocket, I felt like he saw the pressure rather than felt the pressure. He didn't keep his eyes down the field. I believe he has made tremendous growth in that area, but he's still not quite there. So I do agree with you in terms of the level of poise between both guys. But I will say Derek Carr plays the game like a more confident player than Ryan Tannehill on a consistent basis.
All right, TD, what are the people at home say here on your fancy poll that you shot out?
Raider Nation probably came.
I know, Twitter Nation. By the way, you can tweet the show, #MoolerSticks at MoolerSticks at Bucky Brooks. And the Twitter results for this one is Derek Carr 71%, surprisingly, and then Ryan Tannehill at 29%.
That doesn't surprise me.
West Coast.
You got Raider Nation. I think most people
feeling good. Coming off that beat down of the Chargers that should have been worse than what it was. It cost me at fantasy because they let their foot up off the gas and let Phillip Rivers throw for a bunch of garbage touchdowns. But yeah, coming off of that, Raider Nation certainly feels good about their young quarterback and their young receiver.